So this is the camera. So I just need to kind of.
All righty.
Okay. There we go.
Let's see. It says it's setting us up. And here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ask the Nanny. Tonight, before we get started, I am going to make a special request. There is so much going on right now, and there is so many depressing news reports and just people just following the gossip line and just getting so depressed. I want to challenge you all to make a comment on, well, I can't even talk. Yeah. I want to challenge you to post a thankful post in the comments, something that you are thankful for. We have enough depression, enough stuff that's going on around us. And I just think that a little positivity will help brighten our spirits. It will help brighten our evening. And you never know who you may not help. So I'm going to find us live on Facebook and see if I have any questions. And I'm going to be reading your comments live. So let's start posting. And I think I need to turn that down. Okay, so there is a delay between me on Facebook and me on Zoom. So your questions that you have for Michelle, I will be asking the questions and reading your positive comments as we go along. So don't worry, I see you, but just know that by the time I get to your question, I may have been talking about something else. So if I don't understand your partial sentence or you're agreeing with something, I will ask for clarification. So just so you know. Now, on to tonight's show. We have Michelle from the Nanny Magazine. Yay! And I remember the old magazine. The Nanny Magazine has been through a transition, but I will let Michelle introduce herself and tell you all about that.
Well, I'm super excited to be here tonight. Thanks for having me on. It's true, we purchased the magazine just in December. We're super excited about transitioning it really to an industry trade publication. So we're going to move away from, just a typical, magazine that may interest nannies or caregivers. And we're really going to focus on the industry to make it a trade publication. So you're going to see, articles that are specific to nannies in terms of professional development, education, how legislation impacts our industry, what's going around the globe in terms of the industry. And we're really looking for this magazine to be a publication that unifies the industry. And that's really an extension of what we're doing at nannytraining.com. And empowering nannies to be the best they can be through education and through improving their nanny knowledge and their skills and for being advocates for themselves.
Okay. Now, will you be including any parenting articles in the magazine? So it's not just, it's focused on nannies, but dealing with parents and issues with parents and
absolutely. Yeah, I'm so
stuff.
Excited. We're going to have some really great columns, some ongoing columns. In this issue, our first issue that's dropping April 1, we have a wonderful article on author you'll recognize about the ABCs of responsive care. So it's going to go through what you need to know to be a responsive caregiver. We have Ask the Nanny questions. We have Ask the Agency questions. We have some awesome travel tips from the pediatric travel doc. She's based in the UK, and all she does is pediatric travel medicine. So she's going to give us tips for practical staying safe when we travel with kids, which is more important now than ever. What you need to pack, what you need to beware, how you need to prepare, how you find out what kind of vaccines you may need, etc. So I'm super excited. So all the articles are going to really be practical advice, specific tips, things that you can put into action now.
Good, good, good. Okay, we have some comments right quick. Hello to everyone who is coming in. Hello, Meeches. Amber, hello. Hi, Jamie. Jamie says, I am grateful for time with my family. Yes, 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 because we work long hours and get this much time with our families. And now it's time to make up for some of that time. Misha says, I am thankful that I am out of work and I have an amazing husband that is supporting me. Me too. uh, Hi, Cindy. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Nicole. Amber says, I have written for the Nanny Magazine in the Post. I love writing for it. Amber and O'Neill Wilson. Maybe it was in the past, not the Post. Hold
Well,
on. Yes,
awesome.
that is that past. I'm sorry. My brain, my eyes. It did
Well, we're
say
super
past.
excited. We welcome new and old contributors. We got the list that we did, the email list that were compiled. We did email everyone out we had a contact to tell them that we had purchased it. But if you go to nannymag.com, you can actually click on a link that tells you how you can be published, what you need to do, how to submit information, and how to submit an article. So we're always looking for great content that is really specific to nannies. And we're looking to build our advisory board as well. So if you visit nannymag.com, you'll learn about the different opportunities you have to also give back to the industry and contribute what you have. One of the things I'm super excited about is we're going to do a day in a life segment. So every issue we're going to feature like a niche nanny. So this first issue is going to have a newborn care specialist. So I'm eager to learn who in our community who has really interesting jobs that we don't really know about. What kind of niches are out there besides the ones that we're familiar with, like working for divorced families, working for twins, caring for twins. What else, right? What else is out there? So I'm super excited about that. We also have an awesome article about, the rise of dual role, positions. Can you survive in a dual role? Can you thrive in that? Is that right for you? And things to think about when looking at, different skill sets you have and different goals that you have. So I'm super excited. And if you want to contribute, certainly visit the website and you can click on the link and learn all the different columns we have and submit article and submit pitches and would love to see what the community can offer.
Yes, because I know we all have a story.
And your
Several.
story, I'm so excited.
There's always a story for every family we work with. There's a story. And I've been doing this for like 40 years. Yes. I started at age 11. So over 40 years. I started babysitting and then I became a home daycare provider. Then I became a nanny, then an NCS and a lactation educator and a newborn care specialist. And there's always a story. So
we're excited to share your story in the first issue as well. I'm super excited. Your article was a highlight. So all your fans will definitely have to check it out. It's the fabulous
it's a
story.
Highlight?
What you do? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yay. Okay, yeah. See, I would have had you on here sooner.
Well, one of the other awesome things that I'm super excited about in this issue is going to be, I did a really in-depth interview with Norrland, Norrland nannies in the UK, and the rise of education. What did the curve look like to get from, nannies kind of where we may be in the US now to where they are now? What kind of advice do they have for our industry? So I'm super excited about that in-depth feature, kind of like the rise of education. So this issue is really a snapshot of the industry, where we are and where are we going. And I really felt that was important to kick it off with that because, I think when you look at the curve of our industry and the real trend now, which is still new, of nanny education and nanny, organizations and things, I think we're going to see that curve. We're a little ahead of it now, and us that are kind of on the forefronts of bringing education and empowerment to nannies. But I think at some point we're going to hit that peak and there's going to be no going back. So I'm super excited to be part of that.
Yes. And that will change a whole all across the board.
Yeah.
When the industry changes, the standards change, when everything changes across the board and we get the professional development that we need as a game changer, I'm telling you. Okay, and now
I'm hoping
water.
I'm hoping in Q1 that we have a game-changing announcement that we can make. We've been working on something for 2 years, and if we're almost there, and if we can announce it soon, it's going to be a game changer for the industry. So we're super excited, and it's so important to be involved in this stuff because when the people go to make the rules and the laws and the legislations around in-home care, we need to have a voice in that, because, you know, we know it best. So it's really important now that we're doing this work, that we're, you know, walking up that curve, so we're ready and prepared when the time comes.
I'm sorry, my eyes, that our light that I have on, you all can't see the light. This little small light is shining in my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And my eye is tired. I have an injury in this eye, and my eye is tired. And now it's just like it decides to choose now to just like,
Oh.
and it's running. I'm like, no, not now. So if you see me wiping my eye, you know why. And this would be the one time that I didn't bring tissue. Every other time I bring tissue, I don't ever use it. The time I need it, I don't have it. So anyway,
That's
on with the show. But I am excited. Let me see. Hi, Tamika and Myrna and Madison and Karen. Hi, Rod from across the pond. Hi, Jen and Kate and April. Meecha says it is a way to write. It is a way to write articles for the magazine. Is there a way to write? I'm assuming she means, is there a way to write articles for the magazine? Yes, go to nannymagazine.com.
It's actually nannymag.com. So nannymag.com, not
nannymag.com.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what we inherited. That's what we're sticking with.
Okay, nannymag.com, not Nanny Magazine. I'm sure if you Google it, it'll probably bring up Nanny Mag. But go to nannymag.com to find out how you can write an article. Hi, Reevy. Hi, Alyssa. And Amber O'Neill says, I love working with first-time parents. Okay, so Dulcinea, I hope I didn't butcher your name, but welcome. Hi, Verna. Hi, Emily Carter. Hi. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm asking everyone to write a positive comment, something you're thankful for, something that happened today that was happy. We want to have some positive feedback today, because everything that's going around is kind of negative right now, and we're looking for something positive. Now, back to the interview. So what made you decide to purchase? I know you all do nannytraining.com, which is awesome, but what made you decide to purchase the magazine?
Well, you know, I've been in this industry now at this point for more than half my life, right? So I was a nanny. I was, you know, executive director of the International Nanny Association. I'm a managing partner of a nanny agency in Houston. We own some online sites, and we develop the nanny training. And, you know, I work with Nanny Stellar a lot. We have a collaboration for our cash endorsed training. And, you know, the opportunity came up. I saw that it was going under. We kind of just saw the notice, and everybody saw on the website that they were closing. And immediately, I mean, I saw that, and within 2 seconds, like I was on the phone, and it's like, I have to have this, because for me, you know, I collect nanny books. I mean, I have this, you know, if I could go to Norrland now and be a nanny, I totally would. And you're going to learn some fascinating information in the magazine. They may open to non-residents, which would be a first time. So they shared that bit of information. But so I really love everything, you know, nanny related, and the opportunity to extend our reach and extend the work that we're doing to educate and empower caregivers. I mean, I envision this to be, you know, my husband's in radiology, and he gets his, you know, trade publication, and in the back there's continuing education units, there's quizzes, there's, you know, resources, and I really envision this growing into something that, you know, tracks legislation, that you know, has continuing education, that does empower nannies through important articles about, you know, a child rearing, best practices, best standards, and in-home care, which is much different than in a daycare setting. I mean, let's be honest, we're not putting on gloves to change diapers. We're not doing those types of things when we have one-on-one care, but there are standards and best practices that we know as an industry that we can share with others. So I'm super excited to share that kind of information, because I think, you know, one of the things for me, in a turning point in my career, you know, back in 1999 when I started my real kind of official first nanny job, and I got pulled on, to be involved with INA. When I learned this was like this whole underground world of nannies and all these organizations and agencies and things like that, and connecting with like-minded people, it really changed my world. It really, really made me understand that only another nanny understands the joys and the struggles that we face day to day. There's no substitute for that. So any way that we can connect with nannies and empower them is really important to me in my mission. And I have a great team. I have a great leadership team that, they joke, they said, if this is what you want, this is what you get. But was something that I really wanted, because I felt like we could do it justice, and I felt like we could do it right. And I felt that that there was really a need for it. And I think, again, we're a little below the curve. I think eventually, 5 to 10 years from now, when we look at where the industry is at, I think this is going to be kind of like a standard publication that all nannies are going to want in their hands.
Yes, I think so too. I would use now as an example because of this pandemic that is going on. Doctors, lawyers, everyone that's on the front line because the kids are out of school, they need us.
Right.
And if parents are looking for, okay, let me find a nanny, not just any nanny, I need someone who can help teach my kids because they're out of school, someone who has homeschooling, who has, the enough education to teach, because school back when I grew up, so many years ago, is not A, B, C, D. It's M squared plus, C squared plus this square and X squared and solve for X in the 3rd and 4th grade. That was like 6th and 7th grade when I was growing up.
My 11-year-old's never seen a textbook. Everything's on the iPad. She's never seen a textbook.
See?
She comes home, they were out of school, but she's like, oh, I got my Google Drive. I got all my Notability. I got this, I got that. I can write this essay. I have this. It's like, okay. She's still doing her work. She did 3 hours of math today. So it was very interesting how easily, she transitioned into this mode and wanting to keep up with her schoolwork and get ahead of the game, where, years ago that was impossible. So the resources, even that nannies have now at their fingertips to be able to empower the kids, it makes a lot less fighting than homework time, especially when it might be challenging for some nannies to understand the math. This resources now, it's like, you have teacher teaching the teacher video, so she can just watch it on her own. So when nannies are empowered with those types of resources, when they're made aware that they exist, they can shine in their jobs, they can reduce frustration over homework. So you're right. Really finding, ways that you can bring things to the table are so important, especially, in this economy, what we'll have going forward after this.
Right. Because not everyone can afford a nanny.
Right.
And not everyone who wants a nanny can afford a nanny. But and then when it becomes like this, times are tight and everybody's pinching pennies, and it's like, okay, so we're the first ones to go. And right now there are a lot of nannies that are sitting at home without pay. There's some that are sitting at home with pay, some are sitting at home without pay. But I wanted to ask you, are you all doing articles about nanny finances, how to, save for that rainy day, like today? Sure. Like there's times like these, different articles about things that basically we need to know and prepare for.
Right. So
when times like these happen, we're ready.
Yeah. I think, on this issue, you'll also see a great article from Glenda Probst that talks about the importance. The importance of being paid legally. We hear it all the time, but she really articulated in a way that, right now, if you're not getting paid legally, are you going to be able to access those benefits that might be coming down the pipeline, through the government? Are so important. And what we did today, actually, one of the nice things at Nanny Magazine is that we have articles. We have a content base of free articles that we're always generating. And then we have also our publication that will come out 4 times a year, a digital publication that will be, in a magazine reader. It's super sweet. I'm really happy with it. But one of the things we did today was put out some guidance for nannies and families, because it wasn't there. I had called, some of our tax and payroll partners, and I couldn't get the answer that I was looking for in terms of, because we don't know, right? So some of the stuff we just don't know. It's still fluid. We don't know how the federal relief, if it's going to help us, if we're going to be excluded. We don't know what that looks like yet. But what do we do know? We do know that now is the time to start asking questions that you haven't started yet. Now is the time to have a conversation. So I put together a guide that had a bunch of questions that families should ask and that nannies should ask. Everything ranging from, what's the protocol if the kids get sick? What if you have an employer that works in a hospital and is mandated to stay and can't come home? What is that going to look like? What is it going to look like if you have two employers working from home and now the nanny's there? What if the family wants you to hunker down with them? What does that look like? So questions we may not have the answers to in terms of what the relief, the guidelines, et cetera, will look like, but questions to start the conversation so you can lay the foundation and get on the same page now. Because I think, as we've heard, we're at the beginning of this pandemic. We're still, the worst is yet to come, unfortunately. But by preparing now and taking action and having those conversations, I mean, I've heard from nannies today that their employers haven't even broached it. I heard from an employer, she had told her nanny that, she had given her notice because they were moving, gave the nanny a wonderful reference. We placed the nanny in a new job. The nanny has a new start date. Now the old employer that we also placed her with years ago is freaking out because she's not moving now. She has to wait a few months. So it's like, well, so now there's a nanny who has a new job ready to start and a family who now doesn't want her to leave. What do you do? What do you do? So really,
in a hard place.
And we had to give some guidance on that. And it was really challenging because it's not really a win for anybody. But the reality is that, in these situations, you have to take inventory and make decisions that are right for your family. But if you have some conversation starters, you'll get some answers that you probably don't have that will give you some sense of peace or some sense of resolve to know what's going to happen next. Like one of the things I just talked about, if you're not being paid legally, now's the time. Now's the time to really broach that topic because you want to be able to, take advantage of unemployment benefits or those types of reliefs that may come along in addition to the typical things we see.
Oh, we have an interesting question, but hold on. I'll ask the question in just a second. Now, I wanted to tell you that I appreciate you putting that list in our new group. It's the Parents and Nannies Cultural Community.
Yeah, I thought it was helpful.
I saw that we are one of my good friends and sounding board. I throw ideas and she's like, oh, bounce back. You can't get it. But she created that group to bring nannies and parents together so that we can have conversations, that we can start those conversations and know how to talk to parents about those. I said earlier today, be proactive. If you go in with a solution to the problem or have some things in mind as to what you can compromise on, and you talk to the family, they may not have like you said, some of them that just haven't even broached the subject yet. They're going to wait until the last minute. And then what? If you go in and be proactive and get them thinking, this is what I'm willing to do. This is a compromise. I'm willing to this, and this. This is what's going to happen. I had the conversation with my newborn care family, and I told her I live 3 hours away. If we go on lockdown, I want to go home. I will come back and finish it because I just feel like my husband is turning 65 in about 3 weeks. So technically, he is considered elderly. So I want to, in case something happens to him and he's there by himself and no friends there, I'm his line of defense. I can't in good conscience stay here and take care of your child and leave my husband to suffer.
And I think, one of the things,
that's hard.
It's hard. And on the flip side of that, we talk about it a lot. But I think we're going to unfortunately see it a little bit in this climate is that, you're only family until you're not. And I think some nannies are going to sadly experience that, you're only family until you're not. And it's a real reminder that this is a job, that it's a profession, that boundaries are important, that, mutual respect is important, but that you still, at the end of the day, have to consider your own needs, because if you don't, you're only family until you're not. And this is the most well-meaning employers, the employers that will do anything, for their nannies who have had them years, who love them. There becomes a point, and I think so, not all, but I think some of them will see, unfortunately, I think, and all of us have at least one point in our career, right, that your family is not. And that's, it was okay. Like, it was okay for that nanny to get a new job. They gave her a reference, but now they have a need and they want the nanny to sacrifice her, so it's that balance is whose needs, come first. So
Who's going to go first?
It's so important to
Yes.
be proactive, to have those conversations. And like Angela said, to know, where your line is, what you can give and what you can't, to be honest about that from the get-go.
Yes. And with the schools closing down, it's like every day it gets close. It's like the line is here and you're getting closer and closer and closer till you get to that line and you're like, okay, I'm about right here.
Well,
and it's getting closer.
That first comment, I'm thankful for my family. I'm like, let's ask again on April 27th to see what the answer is. It's going to be a challenging times, right? It's going to be challenging times.
It is a challenge, but you have to think of yourself.
Yes.
And I hate to say, we're not a dime a dozen.
No.
But our families come first.
And if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of anyone else. That's the reality. We
You
pour
can't
into
pour
our
from
cup.
an
That's
empty
the flow. Yeah.
You can't pour from an empty cup. And it's heartbreaking because
right.
I love my families that I work with.
Yes.
I scope them out and they scope me out, and we're like, okay, we're a good fit. Yes. Yeah. And it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to find a good fit. But when you get one and then something like this happens, you're like, oh, well, I love you. I love your babies, but I've got to take a stand and take care of this is my husband. This is, if you all lose your jobs, and that means I lose my job, and I've been here and now I got to stay here, and something happens to my husband, I'm going to hate myself for it.
Correct. And that's the reality. I think, one of the hardest things about our industry continues to be that, we're our own middleman. If we're not having the conversations, they aren't happening. That's the reality. We have, families who can be executives. They can manage people all day long. But when it comes to their home, it's like a banker who can't balance their own checkbook sometimes. It's, you have to have those conversations. If you don't have them, nobody's having them. So I'm hopeful that, that the conversation will get started, and if it hasn't already, that there'll be, some questions to think through. So definitely, I encourage people to check out those questions we put them on Nanny Mag, just to get a sense of, what you should be thinking about, what you could be thinking about, what you don't have to think about. It was just a springboard to get started in your thought process if you haven't already.
And that's a good thing, because those questions, I saw them and I was like, you know what? These are good questions to go in the interview, on the contract, revise the contract. So if anything, I won't say anything close to this because I don't want anything close to this to happen ever again, but anything can happen. Have a plan in place.
But isn't it so much easier when there is a plan in place, right? I'm talking to many who don't even have a work agreement. And it's like, well, what does your paid time off say? I don't know. Well, and that's why we push, I think, as industry leaders so often, the importance of having that written document, something to refer back to. It's so important to get everyone on the same page, for everyone to understand what they're agreeing to. In times like this, you have it to refer back to instead of flying by the seat of your pants. And that's just a real challenging place for nannies and families who don't even have that as a foundation. Now, while it may not address every single thing, it definitely gives you kind of a taste of what the agreement looks like, what is, equitable, and what foundation you have to move forward to make other decisions. So I think it's going to be an awakening for nannies too, who haven't pushed for the agreements to do that moving forward.
Yes. Okay. So Meechus has a question, and she says, do you think that in the future, the magazine can be done in Spanish?
We're hopeful to have articles translated as part of our global, desire to reach nannies. We were so excited to have an article come out from an Italian nanny who's actually thinking, I forget where she is now, but she wrote an article about, transition to living in the UK. What is it like to be a nanny there?
Oh, you're talking about Giovanni.
Yes, Giovanni wrote a fabulous
Yes, I love her.
So it was great because she was able to write that. I said, let's talk about this in the future. Can we do a piece at a time? So I was hoping to start with once a month, a parallel article, one in English and one in a different language. So certainly anyone who wants to volunteer to translate would certainly love that. One of the things about doing these types of projects and doing them right is they cost money. We had to put a lot of money into the back end of Nanny Magazine to get it up and running in terms of a way that was secure and that the issues were secure. And you have to balance that with keeping, the rate. I mean, we're sticking with $21 a year for 4 issues and all back issues. I feel so bad because when Nanny's like, can we get a discount? It's like, we can't have it both ways, right? We can't keep the cost super, super low and then give discounts on top of it because, you're paying fees off subscription, you're paying hosting, you're paying editing, you're paying, so many things that I think people don't realize go into.
They don't realize the infrastructure that to hold all this information online. It costs a lot of money and to get it to work properly.
Correct.
So when you click that link, it takes you here, and you click this link and it takes you there. It takes a lot. Trust me. I have a website. It is not, and mine doesn't have all these intricate things on it. Mine is just simple. I know from the U.S. Nanny Association what it costs to have to hold our standards, to hold the test, the credentialing test, to get people. It's a lot. Trust me.
It's a lot. So
it is a lot.
So I think people forget. It's like, when we do that, why are we doing this, right? It's really something we want to give back to the industry. It's not something we're making money off of. Ideally, my whole goal eventually I'd love to see it be free. I'd love to see it be supported by advertisement so that it could be at every nanny's hand. That's my long-term goal. People have always asked, can we go back to print? The reality is nannies really aren't willing to pay, $27 an issue because the cost associated with a small print run like that is quite high when mailing and things like that. It's just not feasible. If nannies were willing to pay it, sure, we'd do it. But right now, digital is scalable, it's easy. And I think it allows us to put the resources into other things that we need to keep the site going, to keep the publication going, to get it line edited so we don't have grammar errors and things like that. So important, for me, because anyone who's worked with me over the years knows that my standards are kind of a little bit high in terms of, my expectations, and I want things done. I want them done right.
It's not OCD. It's just done right.
It's just done right. I mean, I'm sure I can't wait. I'm already like having nightmares about the first email I get with errors or something. It's going to happen. We're only human, but seriously, I mean, I want this to be a publication that when people look at it, they're not going to be able to tell it wasn't done by, someone that's been doing this forever. The group of people that came together to make this happen in terms of submitting content like yourself are really industry leaders that really shared some great knowledge. Super excited about this issue. I really feel really good about it. I feel like it's solid, and now I'm worried about the next one. So if you have ideas, shoot them over.
Okay. So, hi, Allison and Marie and Claylee. And Riri says, I love working with newborns. I do too. I do, especially twins. I do too. Hi, Gatry. I hope I'm saying your name right. Austin McFarland says, I have a mother-in-law who would love to help translate the articles into Spanish.
Would love that. Certainly shoot me an email and we'll see if we can get one that we have online into Spanish. That would be awesome. That is a goal, like I said, but again, translation costs are so expensive. So anyone that wants to volunteer and that's capable of doing that, certainly would love to make those resources available to nannies in every language. Even looking at nanny training, that's one of the things that we're trying to do. We have global partnerships in 33 countries. And it's so interesting to learn about the way translation happens and the protection of content. And in some countries, you just can't have it on a website or it gets all taken down and like repurposed. So it's really important to keep those things in mind too, that I don't think people think about. But as a company, as a corporate body, we certainly would love to offer everything in every language. But the thing that holds us back from that is money, like anything else.
Yes. So let's see. Austin also says, also, hi ladies, love you both. Love you too, Austin. That's my kombucha lady. Oh, they have this lemon ginger. Oh my gosh. And
My
Nanny
friend was doing a
Palooza.
bread starter with it. She said, you call me, my neighbor was like, if you need bread, I'm doing a kombucha bread starter. I'm like, what's that? Okay. Bring it over.
They are as fabulous. I'm telling you. They brought some to Nanny Palooza. Man, I had like kids lined up. I was like, okay, this is gonna be breakfast. It's gonna be around lunchtime because when you go to a conference, you never sleep.
Yeah.
It's like go 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 go. And I think I got like 4 or 5 hours of sleep
Of course.
the whole time I was there, and I was just like, okay, I'll sleep on the plane.
Well, I
But
said at my last conference, I said, man, this feels different at 22 than it does at 44.
yes, tell me about it. Because the
Uh,
older you get, the less sleep you get. You're like,
yeah,
okay, I'm
yeah,
not gonna make it to the end. I'm dropping off here.
yeah.
So, but yeah, they had some amazing, 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 and you can find their products in Central Market.
Wow, awesome.
I know here in Texas it's in Central Market, but they don't have the lemon ginger one in Central Market. I'm waiting on it, but they have some
You
good
got to
ones.
get your jam in Central Market, from what I hear.
I'm going to start out in the farmer market and I'll work my way to the Central Market. But that's one of my goals for the end of this year to next year. With all this stuff going around, I'm afraid to make anything new.
Yeah,
If it's not sealed in a jar already, it's not getting done
right.
until after this stuff is done. Austin says, sure thing, she'd love to help. Hi, Latavia Jackson. Hi, Molly. Uh, Emma Gorman Lad. Hello, hello, hello. And Allison Moore says, that's how much sleep I can get. I can work with 5 hours. I have worked with 5 hours, and after about 2 days, my brain, I can't talk straight. My thoughts they kind of come like this, and they repel, and I can't quite get that sentence to make sense. I know what I want to say in my head, but from here to here, it's like two different things.
We all
So
get that way, I'm sure.
I'm like, okay, yeah, I got 5 hours of sleep overnight, but I need about 3 or 4 more somewhere throughout the day so I can function properly. So I feel you on that one. Now, as far as the magazine is concerned, it's going to be digital. And how much is the magazine? Is it paid quarterly? Is it paid yearly?
It's paid yearly. It's $21. You'll get access to the 4 issues that we're going to do a year, plus all the back issues. So once you're registered, you're able to log on to the content area that's for paid members. You'll get access to new publications as they come out, as well as the older issues. So if you want some reading, definitely now is the time to go ahead and subscribe so you can check out those issues from the past as well.
So all the issues that were before you purchased the magazine are already available.
Yeah.
Oh, good, because I wrote one in the last one.
Yeah, I did. I saw that afterwards. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's awesome. So,
Yes,
and we did,
yes.
a few people have reached out and said, oh, I wrote before and I didn't hear from you. We did send emails out to past contributors. We had the list that we had and we sent out. We're moving away a little bit from, recipes and those kind of things. Because I really want to get deeper into, our industry specific. Certainly if there's something special, unique that we want to share, so, and the way nannies celebrate holidays. I have a great friend, Nanny Galen, like any holiday, she's the go-to person in terms of like, I can know now, St. Patrick's Day, she's going to have shamrock, pancakes, all those types of things, for her little charges. But I think, just from the day-to-day recipes and things like that, I think I want to get away from that a little bit and really focus on, meaty stuff in our industry and inspirational things about our career, things that we can't really get anywhere else.
Okay. Now, about advertising.
Yes.
I know a lot of nannies have gone to being newborn care specialists and postpartum doulas, and
Sure.
And we're just, expanding our horizons.
Yes.
Because I know I've catered baby food. well, they were toddlers, but I've catered their food for like 4 or 5 months to get them through over the hump of not eating and transitioning into a more of a solid food. I have done the lactation education. I have done the new parent education. I have done the all things baby boot camp. I've all of these things, and I know I'm not the only one that has reinvented themselves and
Sure.
recreated themselves. So, how do we get to advertise in the Nanny magazine? Or
Sure.
have you
So
started that yet?
So two things we have is we have our marketplace, which is a listing, nannymag.com/marketplace, I believe it is. It has a listing, a directory listing of agencies, resources, organizations, a paid listing, directory option. I think it's $55 a year. A link to your website, all those kind of things. We'll also have paid advertising in the PDF. Actually, it's not a PDF in the digital magazine. It's actually a digital magazine reader, so you can zoom, you can flip, you can highlight, do all those kind of neat things, I guess. So super excited about that. But we also offer advertising in that as well. I do have a media kit, so shoot me an email and I can send that over to anyone that's interested. info@nannymag.com. And again, we're trying to make this affordable. We're trying to balance. Again, I would love for advertising to completely pay for the magazine, so we can make it a free resource to nannies. That would be phenomenal. But I don't know if we'll get there. It's been interesting to, it seems in our market, what works best in terms of getting agencies and getting other people on board to kind of facilitate these things is, the kickback referrals rather than, paid advertisement or buying things up front. So we learn a lot from our payroll partners who have those kind of relationships. So I'll be interested to see how the marketing, the advertising in terms of that goes. I'm not quite sure yet, but I am hopeful. I think once we have this first edition in people's inboxes and they get to check it out, I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Yay. So, can you advertise digitally at any point in time?
Sure. On the website, I mean, we have the marketplace that's up year round. People can get on that. Certainly we do sponsored Facebook posts, those types of things. So we're open, it's new. It's a new endeavor in terms of the advertising. So we're certainly open to creative ideas and things like that. We also, in this issue, have another awesome article from Sue Downey. Everybody loves Sue.
Yay!
She has a fabulous practical article. 10 ways to increase your earning potential, I think, is hers. So definitely want to check it out. Each issue we're going to do a 10 ways, 10 tips, 10 strategies column. So nannies have great ideas on that. Super interesting. We're going to get all different viewpoints and different things that you can share that are practical and purposeful and things you can put into place right now. So I'm super excited about that.
Now, are these articles like articles in the regular newspaper where we can share them on Facebook? Are they strictly, you have to go to the website, you have to read it, you have to be a purchasing Nanny Magazine?
So I think the Nanny Magazine subscription members are going to get their magazine that's going to have all the articles, every issue in place. I think as we continue to spread the word about what we're doing, we will feature, highlight pieces here and there in terms of on social media and on our website. We have a whole other issue of non-published, non-digital content that we're putting just on the website. So we kind of have two bowls of content, and we'll see how much they overlap. I'm assuming that a lot of the people who are writing are going to want to share their information and share what they've been featured in. So we're certainly going to provide opportunities for them to do that. But we won't put every article from the magazine out to everyone, because then it would defeat the whole purpose of a subscription.
Right.
So
I was just asking because
balance.
I know bigger magazines and newspaper, you can go in there and say, oh, I want to share this. And, it's up on Facebook and it's trending all across Facebook.
Yeah, so we're trying. We're going to try on some of the good articles. I'm really excited about. I mean, I think this magazine has this issue is going to have some really great content. I'm excited to get feedback, positive and negative. Certainly, we want it to impact the whole industry. We want it to be a uniting force in the industry. We're very careful about when we're picking and choosing, imaging, and we're choosing content. We want to be diverse. We want to be inclusive. So I think that's really important. We have one of the questions in this issue that was addressed by Laura Chandra, who I absolutely adore, Boston Nanny Center, her mom placed me in my first job back in '99, my first real job.
Wow.
mom's agency. So, I reached out to her this month, said, hey, I'm a non-traditional nanny. I have tattoos, I have piercings. Like, how do I get taken seriously by agencies? Like, what do I need to do to, what should I be thinking? And she gave some solid, super advice for nannies that may not present as a traditional nanny that you would think of. So I think it's super important to address those kind of issues as well. And she did a super job with tips and practical advice that nannies can use if they feel like, perhaps they don't fit in the box that we may think of when we think of a traditional nanny.
Right. Cool. I love it. Glenda is watching. Hi, Glenda. We were just talking about you. Hi, Anastasia. I think I said your name right. Amber says she's happy to continue to contribute to the magazine like she has in the past. Hi, Tracy. Herman, how are you? I think that was it. Glenda said, uh-oh. It was not bad, Glenda, I promise. It was not bad. We were just talking about how much we love you and the article that you wrote for the Nanny Magazine. It's not an uh-oh, it's an uh-huh.
That's right. You can't talk about the nanny industry without talking about Glenda. Certainly true.
Yes. You remind me of my nanny kids when they're like, uh-oh. I said, no, that's not an uh-oh, that's a no-no. So yeah. their accident was something that they knew they weren't supposed to do. Like they're like, uh-oh.
Well, I was telling my husband, I told you before we started tonight, I really like to, the news, I like to kind of know what's going on. So I was like, I am the official, Corona watcher of the family. And he was like, before this is over, I'm going to be the official Corona drinker. And he doesn't even know. So he was really, and then, this weekend I pulled a fast one. I'm like, I was on the couch a little too much. And I said, I'm just preparing. I'm resting because I know these kids are going to be out of school. And I was like, see, I'm a great planner. So us nannies, we do have some skills and we do know, how to prepare and plan in advance,
Right. So what are some of the, do you have a list of articles that you're looking for the magazine in particular?
So we have a list of columns that we're going to feature in every issue. So if you go to nannymag.com, you'll have a link to our submittable website. And there's all different categories. So one, like we talked about, like 10 tips, tricks, or strategies. It can be on anything, but 10 specific, 10, tips, strategies that apply to anything related to the nanny industry. We have one that's industry insights, like specifically like this issue. A guy from GTM wrote a fabulous article on how the au pair laws and regulations are going to affect our industry, and if they are, what we may want to think about. We have, the Ask the Nanny. Again, Stephanie Felsenberg's continuing on with that, helping us out there. She always has great advice. I have Ask the Agency. We're going to have agency questions. We're going to have people profiles that are going to be, different people in the industry. I'm super excited about some of the international folks we're going to feature. Excited about that. We're going to have, I was telling you earlier, a day in the life, a niche, what are the different niche people in our industry doing? Things that we may not even think of. Newborn care specialists, twins, but what else? Is there something else? Like you said, maybe someone that prepares, a nanny who prepares baby food in their spare time. Like, what's your niche? Talking about that a little bit. We're going to have just tons of content, a variety of issues from experts, outside the industry. Like we have the travel doctor, the pediatric travel doctor, going to share about traveling with families. So I think it's going to have some great content, some columns that we're going to see, some features. I'm super excited about the Norrland feature. The president of Norrland was so gracious to provide so much time for a lengthy interview. Super excited about that. We're going to have a section where readers write in, like, what do you want us to know? We featured a UK spotlight this issue where we talked a little bit about what's the status, what's going on in this part of the globe with relation to nannies. So we're looking for nannies in different parts of the world to write in and tell us a little bit about their industry. We're going to speak with someone from Africa, I think, in one of the upcoming issues. What's going on there? Yeah, so things we may not think about. Like I said, nanny training is in 33 countries right now. I mean, that's remarkable when you think about nannies across the globe. That's a pretty good number in terms of
that's a good number. I mean, anywhere, that's a good number.
So if we can reach those people and learn what's going on in your country, we may not even recognize the name of, like what's happening there, what drew you to being a nanny. What I do think and what I will, suppose is that wherever you look, a true nanny, I think it always comes back to this. The nannies I've talked to in my course, like I said, I've been in this industry more than half my life. It always comes back to one thing. And is that, being a nanny, you didn't choose it, it chose you. And if I don't have that conversation in one way or the other with someone that I would consider, a true nanny, it's just, it's always comes out every time I talk to someone. It's like kind of that uniting factor. When we talked about connecting with like-minded people, you will find in the industry more often than not that is an underlying factor in those that we see really emerging as leaders and emerging as career nannies and emerging as people that really want to make a difference in our industry.
Yes, I am so glad that you're reaching across the globe.
I'm super excited. Yeah.
I love that people, when I'm doing Ask the Nanny, hi from Switzerland, hi from this country, hi from that, I'm like, oh, y'all still up?
It's fascinating.
It is very interesting that they want to find out about us. I want to find out about them too. And the only thing is, it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, okay, so, are you a newborn care specialist? Are you just off work and you just up? Are you couldn't sleep, or what is the deal? But
and I mean, it's so interesting. Like, Stella, like I said, Nanny Stella and I do some global work for nanny education. We have a partnership with UAE, a big company over there that does training. And I remember we had to really get used to it quick that they call their nannies. They do what we do, but they call them maids. And like, it took us, like, we would correct them on live streams. Like, and finally they said to us, like, listen, this is an offensive term. This is just what we call it here. And, to remember, like, to be culturally sensitive, to learn about the different cultures while just not assuming that, only we know how to do things here, because you will find that across the world, there are people serving families, taking care of children and doing just what we do, but it may be called something different and they might do it in a different way. But nannies are universal in terms of what we're seeing in nanny training.
I love it. 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 And so the first issue drops
April 1st.
The 1st.
Super exciting.
You got like 2 weeks.
And we're looking for subscribers. We really need, if this is going to fly, we definitely need the support of the industry. So if you haven't subscribed, certainly do subscribe. We've tried to make it super affordable and super accessible. So if you haven't, I think Nanny Transitions, Glenda's doing a giveaway. I don't know if that's been done yet, but check it out. We're looking for writers. If you have content, nannymag.com, you'll see a link on how to contribute, how to submit, how to get published. Check that out. We're always looking for members to join our advisory board, to help guide us in terms of, what do you think is important, and feedback, reach out on social media, reach out by email, tell us like articles that you want to hear about. What do you want to know about our industry? Because chances are, if you're wondering something, someone else is too.
Okay, we have, let me see, who came in? Lucretia and Elizabeth. Hi, Marilyn. And hi, Crystal. And Michi says, I would love to connect you with the Latin America, the nanny community.
Would love that. We have some connections, but certainly always looking to strengthen them, and would love to, again, we're really trying to diversify the publication to make it a real trade publication. We want to include nannies from all walks of life. And I think that there's a story to be told in the work that they do that we can all learn from each other, and to really value and appreciate the work that we do in the lives of children and families. So super excited to empower nannies across the globe with strong content, not content that you can find anywhere else and apply to our industry, but specifically written for nannies, specifically geared towards in-home providers, specifically designed to empower our group of cohorts in the early childhood sector to be the best they can be. So, again, you may see a little transition in terms of the generic type of articles that you've seen in the past, but it really is with the goal to be a trade publication, to really raise the bar, to be an educational tool, an empowering tool, and to really, provide a resource to nannies that they can use actively in their work with advice and information on how things that are going on in the industry, from legislation to trends, affect nannies personally and in their workplace.
Okay, nannies, listen to me. There's like 3 or 4 million nannies in the U.S. alone, not across seas and international. There's 34 million of us here alone, and we can make a difference. I'm just saying,
So
we
true.
can make a difference. We want our industry standards to change. We want people to see us differently. If we have a magazine that's specifically for us, support it. This will let others see, oh, Nanny Magazine, what's that? Guess what? We are on the map too. We have our own magazine too. They have, Cosmo, you got Vogue, you got Ebony, you got all the People magazine, the Us magazine. We got Nanny Magazine. Now I know you all probably subscribe on at the grocery store, picking up those magazines and flipping through them. Yes, this one you can carry with you at any time because it's digital. You can carry it with you anytime and read it at any time. It's only $21 for a whole year subscription. And you get to submit articles. If you are a blogger or writer or you have something to say, you got 10 different things, your list of 10 different things, submit it to the magazine. You never know. You may have the lucky one is like, oh, there it is. I got it. So support, 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 support. This is our community. This is our village. If we don't support one another, how can we expect anyone else to treat us differently if we're tearing each other down and not supporting each other? Support one another. Let's support each other. Let's support the Nanny Magazine. I personally love the Nanny Magazine. It has some very good articles in it. I love that it is global and that we learn not only from ourselves, the standards we have here, because we are moving. We're not staying the same. And if you stay abreast on what's going on, this magazine will help you. Oh, this standard is changing. Oh, this is changing. Oh, I need to learn about this. Professional development can come in many ways.
Right. So important.
It can come in many ways. And it's not just sitting in a classroom or taking an online class. Professional development comes in many ways. As long as you are educating yourself about something new, something you don't know about, something that could be happening, you don't know what you're going to use in your next job. There may be an article that 10 different things. Oh, I know what to do there because I got the 10 different things. And you can start with those 10 different things. And then when you get on the job, Joe, well, I know, well, let me list them for you. This and that and this and that. And you sound knowledgeable and you sound intelligent and you stand out above the rest of the other candidates. And it could just happen to get you that job. I'm just saying, knowledge is power. So
You're right. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Again, when we saw this, that it was going away, we certainly, wanted to rescue it because we did feel that it was an important space in our industry. We did feel that it was an important tool, and we did feel that we could really take it to the next level. And that's what we're hoping we can do with everyone's support.
Yes, we can do this, ladies, all across the globe, not just here in the United States, because now it's all inclusive. It's not just us. It's everybody. It's us collectively. So, I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. Okay, so Glenda says, let me go back up. Glenda says, if you register for an INTD event, you can enter to win a subscription on Nanny Transitions, on the Nanny Transitions page. It's a Nanny Transitions. She has Nanny Transitions Facebook page. So if you enter to win, go and enter to win the subscription to the Nanny Magazine. Amber says, what does the advisory board do?
The advisory board is going to really help steer the direction of the publication. It's going to give helpful advice, feedback, This first article, this first issue was really important for me to kind of put the foundation down in terms of the vision of my team. And what we thought we wanted to do and the direction we wanted to go. And now we're bringing in industry partners to serve on the advisory board to share their thoughts. What kind of articles do they think would be relevant to our industry? What types of advice do they think nannies need? What do they know about the industry that we think, that should be shared? So it's really going to be consisting of, kind of reviewing content, throwing around ideas for content, really working together, just, ears to the ground, eyes to the keyboard, seeing what nannies are talking about, what agencies are talking about, what industry partners are talking about, and what we can bring them to enhance them and empower them to be the best they can be.
Yes, because it takes a village to raise a village, and we are a part of a village, and we have to help raise each other. So let's help each other. Now, before I continue, and I know me just loves this, I am giving away a subscription to the Nanny Magazine right now. So if you want to enter to win this magazine, I want to see the smiley faces because we're doing positive things. Put a smiley face in the comments. Starting now. Let me see who's the last after Amber O'Neill. Okay, so if you want to enter to win a subscription to the Nanny Magazine, put a smiley face, a little cheese, spread some love, spread some cheer. That's what we're all about. Say somebody's gonna win something tonight. Because I'm tired of reading all the depression. Is that a word? Depressionable? Anyway, I'm gonna make up a word to go in the magazine. Depressionable. And I know you're gonna go and check that word after this done. Okay, I'm tired of seeing all the depression that's going on across Facebook, social media, the news, and all that. We need some happiness. We need some calm, some peace, some de-stress. So somebody's gonna win a subscription to the Nanny Magazine tonight. So if you want to win, put some happy faces in there while I go back and figure out all of these, figure out where I left off. Let's see. Okay, we stop with the advisory board. Okay, Marilyn says, is it hard copy or virtual?
It's digital. So you'll have a e-magazine reader. It will take you to, you'll go to the page where the magazine's hosted. You'll be able to flip through, zoom in, zoom out, do all those neat things that, are really fun to do with digital publication. So it's not going to be the old PDF that people perhaps are used to seeing in past issues. We're trying something new where we're making it, it's called a flip book, so you'll be able to flip through like you're flipping through a magazine, whatever device you're on, and check it out that way. So I'm excited about that. I would love, there's nothing more than I can't even talk tonight either. There's nothing more than I would love to see is Nanny Magazine between, Reader's Digest and Cosmopolitan. But the reality is, when we're looking at, a run of, a few hundred subscribers, I mean, the price per issue is over the cost of an annual issue for a digital subscription. So, I mean, is it my dream to have a printed magazine? Yeah, that'd be phenomenal, but the market just can't bear it right now. It just can't. So if nannies want to pay, $20, $30, $40, for a print run per copy per issue, certainly you will make that happen, but I just don't see that right now.
Okay, well, we're going to leave it in the digital library right now. And so we can use our little Kindle reader.
I know, I'm super excited about it to see how it's going to work.
I love that. I love it. Yeah. But yeah, so now it's digital and you can do all the zoom in, zoom out. Yeah, love it. Okay. Glenda says we need to support it. Yes, Glenda, we do. And Lucretia said, I won an INNTD 2018, a magazine subscription and I never received the code or any confirmation. Oh,
You
you
know
know
what?
what? I won too. I won. What was that? INTD. I won one. I also bought one my first year of Nanny Palooza.
I'm hearing that. I'm hearing stories of subscriptions that weren't fulfilled. Unfortunately, when we purchased the agency, we purchased it clean. We don't have all those financial records. We don't have
Right.
all of the subscription lists. We don't have any of that information. It's unfortunate for us. We just purchased it in December. An issue had been released for quite some time before that. Social media was stale for almost a year, I think, at that point. So we don't have any of that information in the records that we received. So unfortunately, there's not much that we can do about the past, but certainly going forward, we do look forward to supporting these events and to carrying through on the commitments that we make to support our industry. Like we were talking about before, though, it's really a challenge to keep the price low and affordable when you're talking about $21 a year and the cost that it takes to run. Everyone knows when you buy, I think the fees that are associated with that, that leaves, how much per, subscription, then hosting fees, editing, this is not a money making it's not a money making device. So it's really been challenging. We've gotten lots of requests to give away subscriptions at International Nanny Trading Day and different events, and we can't do it for everyone. We just can't, or we can't make this happen. So we
Right.
have two choices. We can either raise the price and everyone and make it kind of a little bit higher, $40-$50 a year, and then give away a bunch of free subscriptions, or we can really lower the price, keep it really reasonable, and keep it accessible to all. And that's what we've decided to do for now. Certainly we're doing giveaways as we can, through INNTD. We were doing a giveaway through different events. We'll give away. We're doing a discount INA members. I think there's a small discount. But we can't, keep the rate super low and, give discounts off of that and give away free subscriptions, or else we can't make this happen for the community. And that's really what we want to do, is empower nannies and get this in everyone's hand. And we can't do it both ways.
Cool.
That's just real talk, ladies. That is just real talk.
It costs money to do things for anything. I promise you, last year when I went on the road, even when I did Ask the Nanny locally, the Sunday socials, trust me, if it's not out of the goodness of our heart, out of the giving spirits that we have, none of these things would happen.
Right.
And we have to pay up front and wait on the money to come back.
Right. I mean, we put a lot of money the back end of the site too, to make it workable, to process memberships that actually renewed and had, you'll see if you were subscribed before, every time you log on, there's a unique, password and things like that too, that protect, privacy, and they allow renewals and things like that, that just weren't in place before. Not that they were right or wrong, it just that the functionality wasn't there. So we took that up a level, but that certainly came with an investment on our end that we're happy to, again, like, we want this to work. We want to support the community. So we're willing to invest what we can, but I can't do that and also and give them away at the same time until we're at the point where hopefully we have enough advertising that we can give them all away. I mean, that would be phenomenal.
That's right. So I want you all to share this video right now. Hit the share button down at the bottom and share with your groups, share with your, on your page, share with your mom's groups, your dad's groups, your knitting groups, your crochet groups, or whatever the group you may be in. Share, 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 share. Sharing is caring. Because in order for us to keep, I don't know if you all realize how big this is. This is something that is specifically designed for us. It's not the Fortune 500, because we're not the Fortune 500. It's not the fashion magazine, because we're not the fashion magazines, although some of us are fashionistas. But this is written mostly by nannies. It is volunteer writing, and people take their time and their efforts and send it through Grammarly and Google search and ABC check and the
Yeah. Well, Angela, you know what I really like? Angela, is that I love you, of course, but I love that this isn't like daycare information tweaked for the nannies. This isn't
Right.
like, you know, in-home provider adjusted to the end. I mean, this is specifically for us,
Specifics.
our line of work. It's not taking something and adapting it and, you know, putting the circle in the square. This is for us, by us as a community. So I'm super excited about that. I said, you know, I'm fortunately over the 20s, I've made enough friends that I could fill an issue, but I don't know how many times they're gonna write. So we definitely need to, you know, I pulled out all my
Yes.
favorites. We want to
Pull out all the stops, all the
stops, all the
connections. Okay,
favorites.
so who
I
do you
know
know
you
that
don't
I
know
don't know?
So certainly
Yes.
want to be able to, you know, continue and you know, like I said before, the standards, you know, for publication, we definitely, you know, want to have high standards too about the quality of content. So if you are submitting things, make sure they're edited, give it to a friend first, take a look at it, and make sure that it's something that, you know, that we can put out for the masses. Because, you know, sometimes we write for ourselves, sometimes we write for our small community, but when we're writing and publishing like this, you know, the grammar, the spelling stuff is super important. So we want to present ourselves as professionals. So we do have, you know, a process that we go through to edit and make sure that everything's, you know, up to the standards that we hope for.
Yes. Okay, so Marilyn says, you're the people who can do this. Thank you, Marilyn. I'm so glad you
I
have that
also,
confidence in us.
I also brought up the answer to some people who invested a lot of money.
Yes. Get on the phone. Call your people. Have your people call my people.
Yeah.
Okay. Amber says, cool. I'm happy to help on the advisory board if you would like. Hello, Angelica. Hi, Tracy. Okay, so I have all of these happy faces. Okay, now, let me see anybody else. Misha said, I really want to win. Of course she does. Lucretia says, you are a true giver, Angela. Thank you, Lucretia. Marilyn just shared it. Tracy shared it. Glenda said, you can count on me. Misha shared it. Riri shared it. And Marilyn said, and no politics. I don't know what that means, but okay, no politics. And it could be a great birthday present for a nanny. That is so true, Beaches. That is so true. It can be a great birthday gift. Okay, so Michelle, I need a number between 1 and 20.
Oh, my favorite number. I'll have to choose 15.
15. So, do you want me to start from the bottom or start from the top?
Start from, ooh. Oh, let's do it different. I'll start from the bottom.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lucretia, you won. You just got it. She has like 3 in a row. You just won the Nanny Magazine. So
shoot me an email, Angela, with her name and her email address, and I'll go ahead and get her signed up.
Okay, great. Okay, Lucretia, send me your email address so I can get it in and get you your subscription started on April the 1st.
Super exciting.
So
Maybe
excited.
if you're a subscriber, it may appear early. I'm not going to say it is or it isn't, but you may want to check and see, you know, maybe, you know, things get done early for official launches sometimes. But would love to hear everybody's feedback. So shoot me an email, you know, for our industry too, you know, praise in public, criticize in private. Send me an email first if there's any issues, any concerns, so we can fix it, you know, in terms of if we can fix it, if we can address it, because it's really important. You know, we want this to be a united tool for the industry. So certainly if you have constructive criticism, like certainly like reach out, let me know, you know, before you put it all over Facebook.
Yes, please. Please be respectful and
I don't anticipate on each of them. Super excited, like I said, but you never know. In these days, you never know. You never know.
Everybody has critics. Everybody has critics.
That's true.
But thank you all for watching and thank you for participating. So CCS is watching. I'm not sure who CCS is. Do you know who CCS?
No.
Okay, so somebody, who is that says CCS? Marianne Benedict Kempner said that CCS is watching. Okay.
Who's CCS?
I don't know. It's a mystery. Okay. Misha says, I really want to win. Let's see. Shared. I think I shared all this. Yay, congrats. Super excited. Lucretia says she's super excited. Ruby said, congratulations. Thank you. And Nanny Kim said, congratulations. So do you have any closing words?
No, I'm just super excited. I think, I used to joke that I wanted to have like this traveling nanny library, like museum, because our history is so rich in the work that we do. The curve of how we've come so far and where we're going in our industry. And I really just thought this first, relaunch could address, where are we and where are we going and what different people are doing in different parts of the world, to impact our industry. And at the end of the day, this all comes back to kids, right? Providing high quality care. Not just providing run-of-the-mill care, providing high quality care. We know the research, we know one-on-one care, high quality care is the best care. And if we can empower nannies to be the best they can be, we're impacting the next generation. And I truly believe that. I've believed that since I walked out with my degree in chemistry and started the next day working as a nanny, because I followed what I love to do. And I think with the passion that many of us have in our industry, we are game changers. We are global leaders, and we can really make a difference, not only for our community, but really for the kids that we care for the families that we work with. And we can raise the bar, because every nanny knows it's not just the family that you work with that you impact. It's their friends, it's their schools, it's their communities. We all know nannies volunteering in the classroom, hosting the play dates, doing all those kind of things. We really make an impact in our communities, and we really can show families, what a true professional nanny is, and the difference that we can make in the lives of children and families. So subscribe if you haven't. We want it to be an interactive, a course together. Give us feedback. What do you want to hear about? Write, submit, and let's really, elevate the industry together.
Okay, give us that website to subscribe one more time.
nannymag.com.
nannymag.com. Okay, I'm getting ready to put this in the comments right now. Nanny Mag. I don't have fast thumbs, just fat thumbs. Okay. nannymag.com. Now, I want you all to blow it up now. Set down the website.
Definitely share the Facebook page. Share it. Sharing is caring. But
Share,
really,
share.
many
Sharing
nannies
is
don't even
caring.
know. Just think about the time. Like I didn't know when I first interviewed that there was this all underground world of nannies. Think about the nannies that or that you may come into contact with that may not even know these type of resources exist. And you could change
Like
their
me.
lives, right? Your story, Angela, has a phenomenal. If you don't know Angela's story and what changed her to the trajectory that she's on, you have to read her story in this issue. It was the highlight of the issue. I read it and I just it moved me, and it will move you too. And it really will give you some insight into Angela that you may not know, and give you some perspective into why she is the way she is. And I certainly think, it will be an inspirational piece that will touch many nannies in our community. So that's the piece that you want to check out, along with the other bits of content that we have.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming and just making the highlight of my day. I'm so happy now. I was like, okay. And thank you for asking me, because I was just like, how many other things do I have on my plate right now? Do I really have time to write? And the title, I was like, how do I do this? I started on that article 5 different times.
It's beautiful.
It had 5 different I have 5 different articles. And I was just like, and it all kept coming back. I was like, well, all of this stems back to what you did and how you did it. And I was just like, okay, so she may hate this, but here goes. And I just started, and when I started writing, my fingers, I was like, how many words did she say?
Keep going.
And I realized, oh, wait a minute, I got to condense.
It was great. No, and we're just learning it too. Like, what are the artists going to look like? What do people think of the layout? It's definitely different. Are there too many pictures? Is the font too small? Is the font, not, I'm gonna get some feedback, and I'm hoping that as we continue to get, constructive feedback, that we'll continue to make it go the best way. But from a starting point, from a foundational point of taking it on, I really feel like I'm super happy with I'm super happy. I'm sleeping at night. Let's put it that way. I am sleeping at night, and that means that I'm happy with it. Although when I had to upload it finally and it was done, I was like, what am I missing? Like, there's something wrong, And then so I'm just waiting to hear what I missed. But super excited.
Good. I'm excited for you. And
thank you so much.
Like, again, everyone, share Nanny Magazine on your web pages. Yeah, that too. If you have a resource page on your website, put it on there. Nanny Magazine, the more we can get our stuff out there to the public, the more that we can share what nannies do, who we are, what we stand for. We're not just glorified babysitters.
Right.
That everybody calls, they got a bag of popcorn and glass of tea. That's all they do. They just, take them to the park and,
We'll see who's surviving at the end of this thing. It's going to be the nannies. We're going to see who's surviving.
That's right, because we have a habit of washing our hands all the time. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. The kids and the nannies are going to be more healthy than the parents because we make sure they eat nutritious food, and we make sure that they don't have too many, junk food is limited to a certain pound. If you eat your food, then you get a piece of junk.
And then also run our day structure. We're used to having, kids home. We are going to survive.
Yes.
But in terms of, some of the others, it's true. It's like, we're used to this. This is like, even now, as a mom, again, my mothering is my nannying, right? It's a different name sometimes, I feel like, but it's true. It's like, it all comes back so natural. And I think the nannies, they're going to see that we endure, we know how to keep kids entertained, and we're creative, and we can really bring the stress levels of the families that we're working with down. So we're going to be standing at the end of this and not have gone crazy.
Right.
Not crazy. Our minds are going to be set.
We feel like, what's his name? Rocky. We're the champion.
I feel like that. We, if anyone is like, I feel like we're playing, the Hunger Games or something. And it's going to be the nannies that are at the end. Like, we survived because we have the tools and the skills and the strategies. We've been here before with kids home from snowstorms.
Yes. And we have gotten all those little germs that they go to school for the first time and bring the germs home. And it's like, okay, oh my God, I got sick from my nanny kid. Okay, that's a layer of protection that you just added. It's like, level some more armor, because that is not going to come around again because, we're immune to that one. Okay, come on. What else
it's funny. I had a friend that, they have several pets, and I'm like, oh my gosh, give me 10 kids before you give me 10 dogs. It's going to be okay.
Yes.
I do wish everyone well. I hope the nannies can put all their skills and resources into play now to support the families. And really, like we talked about at the beginning, so important to take care of yourself too, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. And that's more than just a proverb. It's more than just a word. It's the reality. If you're, I find it so ironic. Do you want to know what I feel so ironic? So I go to the spa a few times a year for the weekend. My husband, I have a super husband, and I just went last weekend. So I'm like, it's like, God,
you're good to go.
He knew it was coming because I got my rest in, I got my, relaxation room. I had 3 days, and then we came back to this. So I kind of laugh about it.
Yes. We have this under control. Nannies, I know that I am praying for you.
Yes.
And know that I'm rooting for you. And I want to see some positivity on the pages, in the groups, and not just woe is me. I know the world is in a tragic state right now, but there is a silver lining. And we have to look for the silver lining. I'm a firm believer that in all things give thanks. That's even in the bad times, in the not so good times, in the great times. In all things give thanks. And I am so thankful to have all of you here watching Ask the Nanny, participating, listening to little old me, because it means a lot to me. And I try to show my appreciation, and I try to give back to my community as much as I can, even in the bad times. I try to give back as much as I can. And right now, what I want to give back to you all and what I want to tell you all is stay positive.
So
Stay
important.
positive. I don't care what it looks like. God's got you.
Amen. Right?
And I know a lot of you all, don't like it when I talk. I'm religious and all that, and I'm spiritual. But you know what? This is my show, and I get to talk about what I want.
So
So,
true.
if you don't know anything about me by now, you know that I have faith in God. Know that I may joke around and say this is my show, but this is a work from God because He gave it to me, and I couldn't do it without Him.
So
So
true.
I am thankful for you all. I am thankful for my village, and I'm thankful for you all coming together and standing together through this whole tragic mess. And we're going to make it through it together. I'm going to make sure of that. If I have to take on the challenge myself, I'm going to make sure of that. So just know this. So thank you, Michelle.
Thank you so much. Good to see you again.
Good seeing you too. And thank you for all that you are doing for the nanny community.
We're
Between
trying.
the nanny
Let's raise the bar
training and
together.
all of
Raise
your
the
list of things that you're
Raise
doing,
the
all
bar.
your notches on your bedpost, where
All right.
those things that you're doing for nannies.
Man, it's been a long, it's to be in an industry for, more than half your life at this point, right? It's like more than half of my life, and to still love it every day, to still wake up, eager to, biting at the bit to finish a product, to start something new is just, that's a gift, right? That's a gift to love what you do and figuring out how to get paid for it.
Yes.
So I love my work. I love our nanny community. I love what we stand for. And I'm super excited to join with people like you and in raising the bar for the kids that we care for.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
and we
you.
will see you all
You will.
next week. Next Monday. You'll see when the ad comes out. I promise. But I don't want to give it away because then, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna be quiet now. So you all have a great week. And if you have not checked out the U.S. Nanny Association, please do so. Membership is only $25 a year. And we have an awesome, awesome, awesome digital library. We're doing some awesome things, meetups, all these different things. Well, I said meetups after all of this stuff is over, because we had to cancel a lot of stuff, but we're working on it. It's on the back burner. So please visit usnanny.org and check us out. And we will see you all next week. Go buy Nanny Magazine and go by their Facebook page and like their page. Let's support, people who will support our community. We need to support them back. So buy the magazine, like the page. Once you read the magazine, come back and leave a review so that you can encourage other people to buy, encourage your friends. As Meecha said, it makes a good birthday gift. Just saying. So we will see you all next week. You all have a great week. And we're out. Bye-bye.